it's more that when she was a kid, she was never given the opportunities to do more. No one expected her to do anything but cook and clean and take care of the kids and be a secretary her whole life. So that was kind of the example and expectation that was set for her, and she never wanted me to feel that I was restricted in that same way, or that I was, only going to have the options of doing the typical female job. She never wanted me to feel like a girl. She wanted me to feel like a person that could do really anything, or at least try and do anything, succeed or fail. So she really encouraged me. She said quitting school is not an option. I think it was about the same time that the Facebook movie came out, so everyone was talking about running a startup and leaving college and all that kind of stuff. And I think a couple of the big universities started paying kids to leave school. So she looked at me and she said, nope, you are staying in school. I will help you. You can go to the rest of the family to help fund it as well. And she said, and then once you graduate, it's yours. You have the reins. If you can keep it going, get traction by then. But she was the one who really encouraged me and kind of put the seed in my head that, hey, it could be something. It could be my business. So it was really her. I never thought I was going to run a business or be an entrepreneur or anything like that. It was super cool for me, but I never thought it would be me. I just thought it would be someone else that I admired and looked up to. But no, she really, I would say she made it happen.
All right. So you've given us the story. You've given us, everything, and you've given us the problem, which is the hospital. That's where it all arose. Mm-hmm. I think that's the right word. That's where it all came from.
Where it began.
Yeah. So, and you told me this earlier. How has it evolved past the hospital problem?
Yeah, so that's actually a really fun thing to think about for us, because when we started, obviously I was just thinking about hospitals and having restricted units where live flowers weren't allowed. And then people started calling us. People heard about us through word of mouth and family friends, talking to people they knew. And they started calling us and saying, well, can I order one even if it's not going to the hospital? And we were like, yeah, sure, great, awesome. But we never thought that we would have a really strong customer base and people that weren't actually delivering to the hospital. And we started talking this to our customers, and I mean, every time people call, we'll get stories and we'll get backgrounds and who's it going to and what's their relationship with them and what do they want to say with the arrangement and all that kind of stuff. But they started telling us that it was the messages. It was the fact that they could give something that, one, the person probably has never received before, two, won't require any maintenance or care. I guess a lot of people are like me in that they can't keep live flowers alive for as long as they might like to. I can't even keep them alive for a week, so I guess other people have that issue. But really the messages were the big thing, because they said that it wasn't another greeting card that's going to sit there and then get thrown away after a month or a year, however long it takes for you to not feel bad about throwing away someone's greeting card. And it wasn't a flower arrangement that was going to die or that had to be taken care of. And it wasn't, a teddy bear or another t-shirt or another whatever you would give as a gift. And especially now, I've found that it's really hard buying gifts for people. Usually the gift card route plus something is how I go. So this was the plus. This was the, give the arrangement that has the personal greetings, that has the sentiments, that it's a physical item, it's a gift that you can give, it's unique and it's personalized, and then give, the gift card to the mall or whatever else you're gonna give to make it that really substantial product. and something, if they're in college or if they're going into a new season and need new clothes or new shoes or something like that, you can get them that, but you can also get them something that's really for you and from you that reminds them of the fact that you were thinking about them, that you care about them, and really they're fun to have around the house. I mean, we keep them around the house, and when we have guests, people will come over, but they always kind of play with the messages. It's like a game. What's inside this flower? What's inside this message? So it's really evolved a lot because of our customers, because they said, hey, we want something that we can personalize and we can give even if they're not in the hospital. And I think my favorite story was when and this was like 2 variations of the product ago. So this is part of an actual product evolution. But a little girl got one for her princess birthday party, and it was princess themed, and it was pink and all that kind of stuff. And at that time, we were physically writing the messages inside the flower, inside the origami paper that made the flower. And she refused to read her messages because she didn't want to take apart the flower because it looked too pretty. She didn't want to touch it. So that actually led us to do the design that we have now, which is the messages being held by the stems, so all you have to do is slide it out. So there's kind of a product evolution and also an evolution of how we've come to think about our product and think about what people can use it for.
Okay. So you've told us about the beginning, you've told us about the middle. Mm-hmm. Where is the end? Where is this 5-year plan, and if you want, 10-year plan?
Yeah. So we are not good enough planners to plan 10 to 20 years down the road, because as we've learned working with a startup, a lot of things change all of the time. And it's something that you just have to kind of get used to and roll with and adapt. But where we would really like to see it and what we're kind of aiming for is to have nonsense be available to anyone, to everyone.
Alternative flower.
Okay.
I'm just saying, that was
yeah.
just something that came to my head, and I was like, it's more of an alternative flower, you know?
Yeah. So we want nonsense to be available for anyone to purchase, and really use as an alternative to what they're currently buying, whether it be live flowers or greeting cards. One of the things that we've kind of stumbled upon just in researching flowers and the industry and all that kind of stuff is that live flowers, particularly cut flowers, have a huge environmental impact. It's massive. I mean, flowers are freeze-dried, they're shipped by plane to whatever destination has ordered them, then they're refrigerated until they arrive at their final destination. Then at their final destination, they're refrigerated until they're sold. And then even when they're sold with flower food and all that kind of stuff, you're feeding these things chemicals. So think about, 1, the carbon footprint, 2, the chemicals that are going into them. By the time that they die and you've thrown them out and they decompose, they're decomposing into the earth, but they are not what they were when they left the earth. So that's been something that has really been brought to light. But for us, we really want it to be that alternative. I mean, flowers are expensive, and we've had requests for weddings and different events like that because these are interactive. They're fun. And that's really what we want. We want people to have fun with it. We want people to smile and laugh and connect. And we even threw around a new tagline, which was changing the world one smile at a time. And that's really what we want to do. We're in it for the people. We're in it for the long run. Fucking Simon. Naughty.
Um,
Simon, come here. Come here. Squishy, squishy. Come here. Come here.
we can shoot you.
Down. All the way down. Do you lie down? Do you lie down? All the way down. Good boy. I can start with
Pretty much where you just left off. Because it didn't really, move too much. And now it was originally moved, so now there's gonna be like a little bit of jostling.
Yeah.
But I don't think too much.
yeah. So just
So yeah, pretty much where you were.
so people have actually approached us to do weddings and events and centerpieces for different events and auctions and things like that, because they are interactive, because they're not as expensive, but they mean just as much. They mean more even, because they have part of the person who's created them in it. The messages really tell a story unto themselves, and having something like that, being able to give people the opportunity to send a gift, to have that kind of product as part of their event, as part of their wedding, as part of their biggest days of their lives. That's really what we want it to be. We want it to be that alternative that is not just another alternative. It's an alternative that does more than just serve the purpose of being a gift or being an item or being a centerpiece. It's the alternative that tells your story, that carries a part of you forever, and that really makes people laugh, makes people smile, makes people interact with the product and with each other, and that's what these arrangements do. That's what they've been doing, and that's what we plan to do on a much larger scale as we grow and as time goes on.
That was great.